I conquer my devils. I'm lit now, they want me to quit. But I won't stop hustling never. Cause I'ma be winning forever. So much money I spend it forever. Man, I want to spend it forever. My music gon' live on forever. My soul is forever.
Peace and power, family. Peace and power. Welcome to another week of #Freedom, a literary podcast. I hope that y'all had a great week and a great weekend. It's been Halloween for like 2 weeks, it seems like. But y'all are killing it with these costumes. I'm going to hop right into it. The costumes have been nothing but black magic, black excellence. My absolute favorites have been the kitties. Y'all really did it up for the babies this year. Like, oh my gosh. The little girl who was dressed as Auntie Maxine with her little candy bucket that said, "Reclaiming my candy." That was so cute. I love it. And to all the like super woke people who are like, we shouldn't be celebrating that. Like, look, man. Families came together and dressed in matching costumes. Their children are going to be able to look back and be like, yo, my dad was Mr. Incredible and I was Dash when I was 5. So, sorry, not sorry. If it brings black people together, I don't care. Fight me. But anyway, next up, speaking of the babies, they are remaking Lion King, and they have released the cast. It's coming out in 2019, but they released the cast, and y'all, talk about black excellence. We got Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Ern from Atlanta, as Simba, the voice of Simba, which I'm like, I love it. Beyonce as Nala. I mean, when I tell y'all, it is star-studded and so dope. Like, I'm already there. Like, take my money. I'm getting the ticket. Oh, so dope. It's so dope. But moving right along to getting who we need to get the up out of here this week. Overall, this whole week, white people just have been taking major L's. Like, just out here, just straight L's, just dropping bucket. Like, y'all ain't even close to making nothing. It's trash. First up is this girl. She pretty much poisoned her black roommate. So they're in college. Her name is Brianna Brochu or something like that. I don't even know. She's a mess though. But yeah, she is now facing criminal charges for assault and some more shit, because she literally was trying to like poison her roommate, and finally, like, the roommate's black, very pretty black woman too, and the black girl kept feeling sick, and like she said her throat would be scratchy, and just she's been constantly dealing with illnesses since she moved in. And come to find out, this nasty, disgusting, despicable roommate of hers was literally, well, let me just read the status she put up after her black roommate Jazzy Rowe moved out. So the girl's name is Brianna. Her Instagram handle was breezy_bumble_b. First of all, for you not to like black people, where you think you got breezy from? I know you ain't think a white girl made that shit up. In my Gabrielle Union voice. I know you didn't, because you didn't. But anyway, she said, finally did it. Your girl got rid of her roommate after 1.5 months of spitting in her coconut oil, putting moldy clam dip in her lotions, rubbing used tampons on her backpack, putting her toothbrush places where the sun doesn't shine, and so much more. I can finally say goodbye, Jamaican Barbie. I have never, like, how disgusting are you? But the crazy thing is, that's racism in 2017. That's it. This girl, and her black roommate, the girl Jazzy, literally said, like, I was nothing but nice to her. I tried to share my refrigerator with her. Like, I used to shit. Like, she was like, I wasn't rude to her or anything, which I completely believe. This white girl was just really sick in the head, and she was a racist. So she was just doing whatever she could to get this girl out of here. But now the big dummy, like I said, literally has criminal charges against her, and she has been expelled. Get her all the way out of here. Again, just catching L's. Y'all just out here losing. Then on top of that, the wonderful chief of staff in 45's administration, literally John Kelly, he was doing an interview and literally said that the Civil War was fought because was fought over a lack of ability to compromise. What? No, that's not what it was about. Oh, unless you're talking about compromising about owning actual bodies, actual physical bodies. Yeah, that's what they couldn't compromise on that. The Confederacy ain't gonna let that go. That's what happened. I don't know how these white folks get stuff in their mind and just try to repaint and sprinkle they little, well, you know, because they don't season anything with, they only use salt and pepper and paprika. But they just try to like sprinkle and fabricate shit that don't even make sense. Compromise. Anyway. And then, oh my gosh, it's Raining Indictments. You get an indictment, bitch. You get an indictment. You get an indictment. So, I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but if you have not, that's why you're here, because I'm going to keep you up to date. Get into this tea about 45's administration. Honey, they are throwing out indictments. 3 of the people who worked in his administration for his campaign, George Papadopoulos, real name, Paul Manafort, and Rick Gates, all slammed, hit with the book, indictments on their asses. And let's read this little excerpt for y'all. The United States has concluded that President Vladimir Putin of Russia tried to tip the outcome of the 2016 election in favor of the dump. As part of that effort, Russian operatives hacked Democratic accounts and released a trough of embarrassing emails related to Miss Clinton's campaign. And the indictments told it all. And then not only that, but they got in there, started snitching on each other. Like, all 3 of them is just going down, and I'm just looking forward to it. The charges come with so much. They were getting money from these folks in Russia, like $3 million here. They buying boats and all this fancy stuff, like, and y'all thought y'all was gonna get away. That white privilege come back and bite you sometimes. It really do. It really do. But yes, they have been hit with indictments. They are facing hella fines and upwards of like 30-some years in jail or something crazy. Like, I love it. Look at that karma. Let me tell you. Look at them tables. One thing about them, they always turn. And they is turning on this administration. And I'm just waiting. Let the indictments continue to rain down. Let them hit a couple other people too. And then on top of that, again, more L's. Even more women have come out against Harvey Weinstein. I've literally lost count at this point. But one thing that did draw my eye. So out of all of the women who spoke up, our beautiful Nubian goddess, Lupita Nyong'o, said that, you know, she had a run-in with him too on some, he invited her, you know, to his house and started talking about, let me give you a massage. Lupita flipped it and was like, no, I'll give you a massage, you know, just trying to protect herself. He tried to like take his clothes off. Harvey Weinstein did. And Lupita was like, that was when she was like, no, this is too much. So she, like every other woman, spoke out to tell her story. And of course, because she's black, Harvey's like, oh no, I deny those claims. He didn't deny anybody else, but you wanna come out and speak to what Lupita had to say. And then that wasn't even the part that killed me, because I expected that from a pervert, a despicable pervert like that. But none of the white feminists stepped up to speak in on Lupita's behalf. No one came out to say, no, Lupita, we got your back, or, stay strong. It's reasons like this that people don't speak out. Like, no, they, again, like I told y'all in the last podcast, these white feminists, they have days and times where they check in and out. And whenever it's involving a black woman, they just seem to just check out. But black women are expected to show up to every feminist rally. We are expected to be at every LGBT fight. We are expected to be in everybody's brawl, throwing down elbows, going at it. But nobody can do that for us. Like, we can't, that reciprocity, like sisterhood, girl power doesn't flow. It's not a two-way street. That don't flow back to us. That movement ain't for me. It never will be. But yeah, they just out here taking L's, from the white roommate to these politicians to Hollywood. Like, y'all just out here losing, and it's just sad. But somebody else who had a rough week. I know y'all saw the video. Wendy Williams fainted on live TV. Oh goodness, it was so rough. It was so rough. And the memes and the videos were even more rough. Y'all are so creative, man. Y'all so creative. And it's so quick. Like, what apps do y'all use? Like, inbox me so I know. But yeah, Wendy said that she fainted ultimately because she was hot in her, she was dressed as the Statue of Liberty for Halloween. She had a banging wig on too. It was everything. But yeah, she said she fainted because she was overheated. But if you are in something that causes you to overheat, why would you put it back on, sis? I don't know. I just hope she's okay. She was back on TV today, and she said she was okay. So we'll definitely keep our eye on that one, though, because yeah, and I know, that meme is not gonna die for a while. that meme, that video, that whole loop, I know is gonna be out there. But just to speak on something that's a little more serious, I was actually trying to avoid it because, Tyrese is one who does the most. Now, before y'all come for me, Tyrese has been doing the absolute most with everything for this Fast and the Furious franchise and the Fast family. And if you haven't been paying attention for weeks now, he's been posting about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So The Rock was offered an opportunity to kind of get his own spinoff from his character in the Fast movies. To be honest, I don't even know which one they're on at this point. It gotta be like Fast and Furious 29. Like, I don't know. They all the same shit, for real. Like expensive ass cars, pretty women, somewhere exotic, a little plot twist, a lot of explosions. Like, not really my thing. Like, but it's a popular franchise. If it wasn't, they wouldn't keep making them, and they haven't stopped making them yet. It's so popular that The Rock was offered his own spinoff from his character. For The Rock to take that, it would put a hold or kind of postpone the next Fast and Furious movie, which Tyrese is in. So he's been going in like, don't take the job, Dwayne. Like, don't take the job. But at the end of the day, of course, The Rock is going to take it because that's a whole franchise for himself. So Tyrese has been doing the most with that. Like, we're the Fast family. Let's stick together. So I haven't really been paying him too much mind. But I came across that video today. He put up a video of him literally like crying. Not like he's kind of sad. Not Jody being upset, when Melvin was in there dancing with his mama. Like, nah. This was a real ass, grown ass black man, like really crying and showing emotion. And it was all in the name of his daughter. So right now, he and his ex-wife have been in a ugly custody battle. The wife the ex-wife has put a restraining order on Tyrese, stating that he's a danger because there was an alleged incident with their daughter Shayla where Tyrese allegedly like put his knee in the child's back and was like spanking her really roughly, and the little girl supposed to be really like traumatized by it all and everything. So a restraining order has been put in place, and Tyrese hasn't been able to see her. I think he saw her once on like a supervised visit. And like I said, like Tyrese has been doing a lot, so I know everybody's getting their jokes off and making fun of him of everything, but that is actually a really serious matter, especially in our community. 89.99% of those court cases that are in those juvenile and domestic situations, it's our people. They look like us. But the judges who are doing the judging do not. And it's just an unfair situation. If he did, in fact, do that to his daughter, then that's a problem. However, there were, and I've done research on this, and I'm like, I'm going to make sure before I come out and step on the ledge and take up for Tyrese, I need to know, like, where did this come from? There were no previous reports of any abuse or neglect or anything of the sort. Tyrese posts his daughter a lot. They seem to have a really loving relationship. And currently he is paying like $13,000 to the ex-wife. The ex-wife has also expressed that she desires more money. Now, with all of the allegations coming out that he is physically abusing his child, of course, and all the stuff he's doing on social media with this thing with The Rock, not a lot of people are trying to hire him. And like, I get it. I know y'all are like, well, he's a celebrity. He's rich. Like, he should have been more responsible with his money. Like, I get that too. But at the same time, there are no previous reports of any abuse or anything like that. The little girl seems to not be afraid of him or anything of the sort. And I'm going to say something that's probably not a lot of people are going to like, but contrary to what a lot of people believe, there is a such thing as a deadbeat mother. They exist. They run rampant. They do things like create and fabricate stories, especially in custody cases, where it would be beneficial to them. This is beneficial to the mother to have Tyrese painted as this monster because she ends up with the full custody of the child, meaning that she has control to get whatever financial compensation that she is seeking. Now, if someone is an abuser, especially an abusive parent, they're going to have way more than one instance. You've only reported this one time, and like it's really not much evidence that comes from it other than the little girl will repeat what her mother repeated. So is it really something that happened, or is she being coached to say those things? Like, I just don't get it. But at the end of the day, what I do know, a lot of our black men are being alienated by the mother so that they can use things to be beneficial. So the mom can use that information to be beneficial to them and whatever their ultimate goal is. That has happened to countless men. I know, like I said, everybody's in the comments with their jokes, but then if you keep scrolling, there are other black men in there telling Tyrese, I know what you're going through. I haven't been able to see my child and such. Or, yeah, I can't talk to my baby because of this. And it's like, that right there is a complete breakdown of our community. That right there, like parent alienation and like forcing the child to feel like they have to choose and taking advantage of a child's like innocence to to want to obviously be loved by their mother and not disappoint their mom so that you can do malicious things, that's just as bad as white supremacy, because you're basically doing the work for them. You're causing a child to grow up resenting their other parent. Just because you are a mother does not mean that you have that maternal instinct and that you're going to always put your child first. Because sometimes when you're doing those sort of things, you're not thinking about what's best for your child. You're thinking about what's best for you. So we just have to keep that in mind, especially as Black families that are separated. You can co-parent and it be peaceful and positive. If you are unable to do that, it is a reflection of you as a person, because clearly you haven't healed from whatever is causing you to resent that other parent so much. No amount of hate, resentment, or pain that was caused to you should be reflected upon that child. And if you are choosing to keep your child away from the other parent because of some shit you got going on, sis, you are a deadbeat mom. I'm sorry. You have to heal, sis, because you are putting that damage onto your children. There are deadbeat fathers. There are men who do not care about seeing their children, being a part of their children's lives, what have you. But for those who that are trying and they're being faced with resentment and hatred and blockage from the other parent, and the parent is doing it for their own personal selfish ass reasons, that's a deadbeat situation. And it does not harm anyone but the child. No one is winning there. Black love is Black power. And Black love just isn't when it's in a relationship or when it's you and that person together. Because again, that Black love that you have for your child should oversee everything. Nothing should cause you to do anything that's gonna painfully hurt your child in the long run. And we have to be conscious of that. We have to be conscious that the system is set up to alienate the Black man. So if you are doing that work yourself, you're just as much an agent as anyone. Rebuild the Black family. Even if that doesn't look like me and this man are together as one. Because there are a lot of women who aren't single parents. They're single women. Like, you're a single woman. You're not a single parent. You are single. Your child has a father who is trying to be active and you are limiting it. If this does not apply, baby, let it fly. But if it does, sis, you have to stop. You have to stop. And you have to heal. If you need someone to intervene, find that. If you feel like, you know what, it ain't in there for me. Like, I can't talk to this man. I physically, like, I can't. But you know that you have to have positive dialogue with him regarding your child. And if you can't do that, seek help. Seek an outside something. But some sort of parameter, some sort of system needs to be put in place. You created that child with that man. And if that man is stepping up and saying, I want to be a part of my children, my child's life, do not limit that for your own selfish reasons. And on that note, we're going to take a break. And we're back. So this week we are going to continue with the 4 agreements. Okay. Last week we were able to explore the first agreement, which was be impeccable with your word. This week we're going to dive into the second agreement, which is don't take anything personally. And I think that it's very beneficial to have that mentality, because all too often, especially in this society of like instant likes and gratification, and everybody's who's getting what pictures getting likes on Instagram, and who's retweeting and reposting, like that kind of instant like feedback from people sometimes can have a negative effect. If someone is saying something like, "Oh, like you look crazy," or "you fat," or whatever it may be. So I think that having this principle and this agreement of like not taking things personally, it really shifts your mentality and how you view the world once you realize like not everything is a personal attack on you. Most of the time, it's literally just a reflection of whatever that person is currently experiencing, and it's not necessarily a mark against you or who you are. So, we're gonna dive into this, okay? Don't take anything personally. The next three agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, "Hey, you are stupid," without knowing you, it's not about you. It's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, "How does he know? Is he clairvoyant? Or can everybody see how stupid I am?" You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you, and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. During the period of our education or our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have in their own minds. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during domestication. If someone gives you an opinion and says, "Hey, you look fat," don't take it personally, because the truth is that this person is dealing with his or her own feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That person tried to send poison to you, and if you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes yours. Taking things personally makes you easy prey for those predators. They can hook you easily with one little opinion and feed you whatever poison they want. And because you take it personally, you eat it up. You eat all of their emotional baggage, and now it becomes your baggage. But if you do not take it personally, you are immune. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of this agreement. When you take things personally, then you feel offended, and your reaction is to defend your beliefs and create conflicts. You make something big out of something so little because you have the need to be right and make everybody else wrong. You also try hard to be right by giving them your own opinions. In the same way, whatever you feel and do is just a projection of your own personal dream, a reflection of your own agreements. What you say, what you do, and the opinions you have are according to the agreements you have made, and these opinions have nothing to do with me. It is not important to me what you think about me, and I don't take what you think personally. I don't take it personally when people say, "You are the best." I also don't take it personally when they say, "You are the worst." I know that when you are happy, you will tell me, "You are such an angel." But when you are mad at me, you will say, "You're such a devil. You are so disgusting. How can you say those things?" Either way, it does not affect me because I know what I am. Know yourself. Know your worth. I don't have the need to have someone tell me, "You are doing so good," or "How dare you do that?" No, I don't take it personally. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, I know is your problem and not my problem. It is the way you see the world. It is nothing personal because you are dealing with yourself, not with me. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their belief system. So nothing they think about me is really about me, but it is about them. You may even tell me what you are saying is hurting me, but it is not what I am saying that is hurting you. It is that you have wounds that I have touched by what I have said. You are hurting yourself. There is no way that I can take this personally. Not because I don't believe in you or don't trust you, but because I know that you see the world with different eyes, with your eyes. You create an entire picture in your mind, and in that picture, you are the director, you're the producer, you are the main actor or actress. Everyone else is a secondary actor or actress. It is your movie. The way you see that movie is according to the agreements you have made with life. Your point of view is something personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. Then, if you get mad at me, I know you are dealing with yourself. I am the excuse for you to get mad. And you get mad because you are afraid. Because you are dealing with fear. If you are not afraid, then there is no way you will get mad at me. If you are not afraid, there is no way that you will hate me. If you are not afraid, there is no way you will be jealous or sad. If you live without fear, if you love, there is no place for any of those emotions. If you don't feel any of those emotions, it is logical that you will feel good. When you feel good, everything around you is good. When everything around you is great, everything makes you happy. You are loving everything that is around you because you are loving yourself, because you like the way you are, because you are content with you, because you are happy with your life. You are happy with the movie that you are producing, happy with your agreements with life. You are at peace and you are happy. You live in that state of bliss where everything is so wonderful and everything is so beautiful. In that state of bliss, you are making love all the time with everything that you perceive. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. They tell you how wonderful you are. They are not saying that because of you. You know you are wonderful. It is not necessary to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Don't take anything personally. Even if someone got a gun and shot you in the head, it was nothing personal, even at that extreme. And it's a reflection of what they are going through. And it's a reflection of them onto you. And it's the same way from your perspective. That's why when I greet people, sometimes I say, peace, reflection, because at some point you are a reflection of me. Even if it's at my lower self or a former stage in my life, or what I will potentially be at some point. But there is a part of you that is reflecting me. So I say, peace, reflection. Y'all look at me crazy though, but it's fine. Even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. The mind has the ability to talk to itself, but it also has the ability to hear information that is available from other realms. Sometimes you hear a voice in your mind, and you may wonder where it came from. This voice may have come from another reality in which there are living beings very similar to the human mind. The Toltecs call these beings allies. In Europe, Africa, and India, they call them the gods. Our mind also exists in the level of the gods. Our mind also lives in that reality and can perceive that reality. The mind sees with the eyes and perceives this waking reality. But the mind also sees and perceives without the eyes, although the reason is hardly aware of this perception. The mind lives in more than one dimension. There may be times when you have ideas that don't originate in your mind, but you are perceiving them with your mind. You have the right to believe or not believe these voices, and the right not to take what they say personally. We have a choice whether or not to believe the voices we hear within our own minds, just as we have a choice of what to believe and agree with in the dream of the planet. The mind can also talk and listen to itself. The mind is divided as your body is divided. Just as you can say, I have one hand and I can shake my other hand and feel the other hand. The mind can talk to itself. Part of the mind is speaking and the other part is listening. It is a big problem when 1,000 parts of your mind are all speaking at the same time. This is called a mitote. The mitote can be compared to a huge marketplace where thousands of people are talking and bartering at the same time. Each one has different thoughts and feelings. Each one has a different point of view. The programming in the mind, all of these agreements we have made, are not necessarily compatible with each other. Every agreement is like a separate living being. It has its own personality and its own voice. There are conflicting agreements that go against other agreements, and on until there's a big war in the mind. Some part of the mind has objections to certain thoughts and actions, and another part supports the actions of the opposing thoughts. Only by making an inventory of our agreements will we uncover all of the conflicts in the mind and eventually make order out of the chaos. Don't take anything personally, because by taking things personally, you set yourself up to suffer for nothing. Humans are addicted to suffering at different levels and to different degrees, and we support each other in maintaining these addictions. Humans agree to help each other suffer. If you have the need to be abused, you will find it easy to be abused by others. Likewise, if you are with people who need to suffer, something in you makes you abuse them. It is as if they take a note and they have a note on their back that says, "Please kick me." They are asking for justification for their suffering. Their addiction to suffering is nothing but an agreement that is reinforced every day. Okay, I know you're probably hearing this like, what? Like, who would want to suffer? Let's put this in real life terms. You know that friend who's always like, oh, I'm just so, like, I can't get anything together. Like, life just keeps, like, beating me up. And I'm just so sad all the time. I don't like my job. I can't make no money. My family is trash. My relationship is trash. Like, everything is trash. That's someone who's craving that suffering. They're addicted to being in this negative, just really depressing space. Now, there are some who have mental disorders who can't control those levels. But for a lot of us, it is all in the mind. And it's something that as long as we shift our mentality and perception of life, we can be removed from it. So that's what he's referring to when he's saying someone who's like kind of addicted to that abuse. They're addicted to the reinforcement that they receive. I mean, we've all talked to that person who's like fishing for a compliment just so they can get that validation. Like we'll say like, oh, like, no, they look fine. Like, girl, you cute. Or, boy, please. Like, you're fine. But they're like, oh, no, this don't look good. Like, oh, I messed up. Just so you could be like, no, you did good. Like, they're addicted to feeding themselves those negative words and that negative energy and literally using you to kind of feed into that suffering that they have placed themselves in. Because, again, shift the mind, shift your reality. You don't have to speak those words about yourself or to yourself. But I'll keep pushing. Wherever you go, you will find people lying to you. And as your awareness grows, you will notice that you also lie to yourself. Do not expect people to tell you the truth because they also lie to themselves. Let me read that again. Do not expect people to tell you the truth because they also lie to themselves. You have to trust yourself and choose to believe or not to believe what someone says to you. Pause. I know y'all remember in the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I won't sing to y'all today. But remember when she was like, everyday people, they lie to God too. So what makes you think that they won't lie to you? Like, forgive them, Father, but they know not what they do. You can't take things personally because sometimes it's just not about you. Okay. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it is okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. They are afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. It is painful to take that social mask off. If others say one thing but do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. But if you are truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. Telling yourself the truth about it may hurt, but you don't need to be attached to the pain. Healing is on the way, and it's just a matter of time before things will be better for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. If that person doesn't walk away, you will surely endure many years of suffering with him or her. Walking away may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Then you can choose what you really want. You will find that you don't need to trust others as much as you need to trust yourself to make the right choices. When you make it a strong habit not to take anything personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your anger, jealousy, and envy will disappear, and even your sadness will disappear if you don't take things personally. If you can make this second agreement a habit, you will find that nothing can put you back into hell. There is a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you don't take anything personally. You become immune to negative energy, and no spell can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you will not eat it. When you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. You can see how important this agreement is. Taking nothing personally helps you to break many habits and routines that trap you and keep you in the cause of needless suffering. Just by practicing the second agreement, you begin to break down dozens of teeny tiny agreements that cause you to suffer. And if you practice the first two agreements, you will break 75% of the agreements that keep you trapped in hell. Write this agreement on paper. Put it on your refrigerator to remind you all the time. Don't take anything personally. As you make a habit of not taking anything personally, you won't need to place your trust in what others do or say. You will only need to trust yourself to make responsible choices. You are never responsible for the actions of others. You are only responsible for you. When you truly understand this and refuse to take things personally, you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you. You can say, "I love you," without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say yes or you can say no. Whatever you choose, without guilt or self-judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always. Then you can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss and hell will not affect you at all. That is the second agreement. Don't take anything personally. I hope that really resonates with someone. It definitely helps me to navigate through my own journey. Like I said in my intro, I don't really fit into a lot of these titles and boxes and things that people try to put Black women into. That's not what I am. I'm me. So when that criticism and those things come, I don't take it personally because I completely understand that it is not about me. It is a reflection of their own insecurities. It is a reflection of their own fears. They see something in me that they think that they don't have, but take that word and know that you are capable of anything. There's no need for you to look upon someone else with jealousy or envy or anger or anything of the sort. Because don't take it personally. Someone else's success is not a slap in your face. Let it be motivation to you. Don't take it personally. Someone's criticism, not constructive criticism, but criticism fueled by hate and just anger and literally just like, why? If you are thinking like, why does this person hate me so much? It is at times not something that you even did. It is a reflection of them seeing a part of you that they are either envious of or just a reflection of what they're going through. Don't take it personally. I really hope that the next time you're in a conflict or you're confronted with some hate or anger or whatever you may experience in your journey, that you keep that agreement. Don't take it personally, because at the end of the day, it's a reflection, my reflection. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, this podcast is powered by Conscious Kingdom. It is a lifestyle brand where we offer dope apparel, accessories, and home decor. We are online at shopconsciouskingdom.com. That's shopconsciouskingdom.com. As well as on all social media. We can be followed at Conscious Kingdom, Follow us, especially on our Instagram. And be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube. Once we reach 100 subscriptions, we'll do a random drawing, and we are literally giving away $100 worth of product. That's $100 of free merch just because you clicked and liked something on a YouTube. I mean, you can't beat it. It's holiday season. Like, it's holiday season. So think about that. You could possibly win $100 worth of free merch. We literally are we are dropping really dope book bags. Man, you name it. We got it all. We got all the dope fall and winter accessories, as well as like coats and jackets. Like, trust me, it's lit. Okay, it's lit. Like, we got book bags coming. I mean, so you definitely want to make sure you are in this raffle. All you have to do, like and subscribe to our YouTube. Once we get to 100 subscriptions, $100 of free merch just out there. So support us. We thank you for your constant support of us. Tell a friend. Please share this video, like this page, and just continue to build with us. And like I mentioned last week, we are going to start reading some of the letters that you guys write in. So a few have come in so far, but I still want to encourage anyone else, if there are any suggestions for books that you want us to cover. Our next book after the 4 Agreements will be From Niggas to God. So I'm definitely excited about that, because that is a dope read. Okay. And you can also just email us if you have any questions. It'll be anonymous. So if you wanted some like feedback or just some advice, like, you can write into us. We will definitely be reading the listener letters in the next few shows. The email is consciouskingdomck@gmail. That's consciouskingdomck@gmail. See that there? And just continue to build with us. As always, live your best life. Live life as the best version of you, not by anybody else's standards. And remember, don't take anything personally. I love you. Peace.